Good morning. I don't know what happened there. There was this. I'm late, but I wasn't. It wasn't intentional. I was very excited. I had a great intro, and you all missed it because it didn't let me connect. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. How are you this morning? It's it's Wednesday. It's the 9th of March, 10th consecutive live stream. Big show today. Big show. Pretty happy about it. Would be happier if you came in and joined the chat. If you shared my chat with your friends, that would be really, really nice. If you put a comment in the comment section after the chat, after you were watching the replay, these things would all be nice. These would be helpful for me as I try to grow my YouTube channels. I've decided that you may not know who I am, and so when you watch my video or watch my live stream, you don't have any context to go on. So my name is John Chink. I am the founder and managing broker of Deerwood Realty, which is a small real estate brokerage in South St. Louis, Missouri. We concentrate primarily on helping buyers buy houses and sellers sell theirs. Now, we do play around a little bit in the commercial market, but not to where it's, compelling. And most of the time it's because we know somebody that likes working with us. We don't really just go out there all the time. But that's what we do. And that's, I've had the brokerage for, 10 years now, maybe 6 years, maybe 5 years. I don't even know. I've been in real estate since 2009 because that's what my license says. And then I think I started the brokerage around 2015, my own. But I don't remember. I don't remember exactly. It might be 2016. I have one other agent. Her name is Jan. And together we do our thing. We go and work. Not a lot of fluff in our real estate brokerage. Not a lot of, rah, you can do it, stuff like that. Not a lot of recruiting. I don't go out and look to recruit people all the time. I simply just do the real estate business. That's what I like to do. Now, out of the real estate business came this streaming. I like to stream. Never thought I would. But it's a way for me to keep in touch with all my past clients and new clients and just get out there in general. There's a whole world out there, and I don't want to be stuck in South St. Louis. No offense to South St. Louis, but it's just not where why wouldn't you want this opportunity to be out on YouTube? So that's that. Now, we've split our channel a couple different ways. We have actually we have 3 channels right now. We have the Deerwood Realty Clips channel, which is clips of the live streams, because you may not want to watch 1 million hours of live streaming. You may not have time. You may want just some highlights, some fun. Then we changed over to the Deerwood Realty main channel, which is basically the podcast. Short 10, 15-minute videos on various topics that people might be interested in with real estate. And then we have the live stream channel, which is the one that I'm on right now. That's where we it's a longer form thing. Do I envision having guests on the live stream? I don't know if anybody wants to be my guest at 9 o'clock in the morning. Would I put it on a different channel? I don't know. I know my stats were getting murdered by YouTube when I had the live stream on the main channel. It was just getting crushed. Both of them. Both channels were just getting crushed. Or both things were getting crushed. So I'd get view times of my live stream of about 13 seconds or something. And then I'd get views. Actually, that was the other way around. I'd get views of the videos of 5 minutes on a 10-minute video. So my average view duration for the channel was just nothing. And then when somebody watched a live stream, they'd maybe an average of 45 minutes, which is longer than any video that I have on the channel. And so the statistics were just all over the place. They were terrible. The Clips channel is more of a labor of love. I don't get to it every day. I'm not disciplined enough. I guess. But some funny things happen during our chats. Some funny things happen during our live streams, and I want people to be able to see them and not have to go through a whole bunch of stuff. Now I'm behind. I think I'm in February still on the clips, so I don't know. I'm never going to get caught up. I'm never going to get caught up. I normally work all day and then I just kind of collapse at night and then start again the next day. It's tough. Now, not having said that, I'm putting together a new channel and it's going to be about employment. Employment is weird. It doesn't make any sense to me. We have laws and we have cultural beliefs about employment, but I'm not sure I understand. I'm not sure I understand it. So it's going to be basically a whole show at night devoted to employees, employers, terrible jobs. Your boss is an idiot. You text me. You put it in the chat. You send me an email. Say, man, my boss is the worst boss ever. Here's what he did, and here's how it was odd. The reason why I'm most interested in it is because I never fit in. Never did fit into the job market. I just never did. I had a very difficult time if there was like a company directive that we're supposed to be happy about something. I never wanted to be happy about something just because somebody told me to. Like I wanted to be happy on my own. And a raise of like $1 isn't interesting to me. It isn't compelling. I never got the opportunity to work for a company that had like great benefits or anything like that, but I didn't want to. I just don't. I don't want to be part of that. I don't want to be part of the cool kids club at work. Like I don't want to be. All the social ladder maneuvering. I just didn't want all the networking, all the fake. None of that is anything I wanted. And I suspect it comes through in Deerwood Realty. I suspect when you work with us, you see that it's like we're concentrating on a mission of getting you a house or selling your house. Like that's what we do. We're not here to like be the prettiest company on YouTube or the prettiest company, in social media. I don't typically post like weird things on Instagram where, I'm so happy to be, this or that. And I mean, I don't like fake stuff. I don't like fake stuff. And I think you know what I mean. Now, some of you are able to deal with that like all your lives. And I have to say, congratulations to you. I mean, maybe when I was in my 20s, I would care about that. But at 44, like I'm done. This is where I'm at. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. So that's where I'm at there. I think today is going to be more focused than normal. I watched my live stream replay last night, and it was good. Like it's definitely better than it was when I started. And I'm happy about that. I'm happy. I am improving. I was worried. I just look at the picture quality. I got that figured out. Now on my big screen, I had a little bit of a flicker. I don't know if you guys have a flicker on your screen. It's because I have the auto. I have it auto aperture, so it changes. I could probably fix it, but I don't want to. I don't want to move off of automatic. For some reason, I just feel like the computer's smarter than I am on this stuff. I should change that. I should change my f-stop. I should. Maybe I'll do that. I don't want to. See? It's tough. And as you know, if you've watched the show before, you know that I have terrible entrances. I don't know if it's because I get nervous. I don't know if it's because I don't know. But for some reason, it takes me a while to get into the show. It takes me a while to get into the flow. So if you would bear with me during that time, I'd appreciate it. And yeah, let's let's do it. Let's get into it. And so the first thing I wanted to talk about was I hoard information. And what I mean by that is I have my inbox and I have all this news coming at me in my inbox. As an example, I'll get, in the morning, I get probably 30 searches come to my emails for my clients. So I get to see what they're seeing. And so I look through all of them. But then the problem is I save those emails. And I save them because of the fear that one of my buyers will text me and say, hey, I want to look at this house. And I'll have no idea what house they're talking about. And so I feel like somehow I'm going to remember of the probably 200 houses or more that come to my email inbox in the morning, that I'm going to remember this particular house for this particular client. And then I'll be able to say, oh, okay, well, let me see more about it. Let me schedule the showing. That's the fear. I just want you to know that the hoarding of the email inbox is based in fear. Fear of, in this case, my client saying, what, you don't know the house I'm looking for? That was the house that I wanted. That was the house of my dreams. Now we don't know where it is. Now, this isn't like when I'm saying it to you, you can hear that it's an irrational fear. Why wouldn't they know what the address is? They're looking at it. They sent me the listing, or they're asking me about it. So it's very strange. And literally 30 emails a day. I mean, you get 30 emails in your box. Today, I deleted some because I'm worried that I'm a hoarder of email inbox. And just so you know, my unread email is 15. Excuse me. My unread email right now is hovering around 5,000. And my total email inbox is, let me look. I haven't looked for a while. Did I screw that up too? I did. We're doing good on the stream health. Nice. I hope that it comes. It says stream health is excellent at 9:13. So I'm gonna bail on it because I don't want to keep it up. I did make a change yesterday, and that's good that worked out. I have to do things about this a certain way that I need to delete. This I probably need to do this. I need to set this like this. Okay. And I did do that. This I need to work on. I need to work on that at the end of the stream. So close that. Put that there. Okay. Sorry. I have all this stuff. So we were, see, I totally lost my frame of mind. So I've got 4,972 emails that are unread in my inbox. I've got 16,604 emails in my inbox total. And I did the math, and it would take a year and a half to get rid of all my emails and put them where they're supposed to go. I don't know about you. I would call that email fatigue. But can we just take a moment to marvel at the fact that it took me, 4 months to figure out how to get the camera to have a nice clear picture of me. And we're running, I think, 720p or maybe 1080p. I mean, we have really massively, we were running 4K for a while. And I was like, no, I'm not doing this. And the reason why was because we were at 4K. It took me, everything I was doing for editing was taking me like an hour or longer. Yesterday, it took like 8 minutes to do the rendering of the podcast for YouTube. I mean, and then the problem there is that I wanted to do the clips and I just didn't get around to it, and I keep forgetting, and I gotta do better today. Have a weird week where we had the mask mandates lifted in St. Louis County and St. Louis City, and it's like a new world out there where people that previously wouldn't meet with you at restaurants or previously would be wearing masks everywhere. Now everybody's just going out and living their lives. for the most part, I think that if you're immunocompromised, I think you should probably wear a mask anyway. No offense. I mean, not that I'm a doctor. That's not medical advice. That's just like, just seems like, reasonable. But then also, it made it really hard to meet with people. I like to meet with people. For instance, if you're going to list your house, I'd like to go to the house to see it. Me shouting out a number online is just as bad as Zillow trying it, and it's a bad idea. So I want to go see the house. In fact, most of the time, I want to go see a couple houses around your house. And you say, well, don't you know every single price of every single home everywhere? No, I don't. So I want to go walk around, and I want to see the house. I want to see other houses near your home. I want to see what's on the market at the particular time, and then I can have a pretty good idea what we're going to try and list your house for. If you want me to come up with a number, you've already come up with a preset number, then you tell me why we're gonna sell this house for this. It's very weird. I talk to people. Had a conversation with a friend of mine in the afternoon, and he said, I want X for this property. Okay. Are there any comps to justify that price? No, it's just what things are going for around the area. It's like, yeah, no, the last comp I saw was for $350. Now we're going to come to the market $50,000 higher. I don't know if that's a good idea, but you never know in this market. It's frustrating, and I did have my meeting with my my Yoda of real estate, and let me get back. Well, anyway, let's go to the. Sorry, this is a bad transition. I did meet with the real estate Yoda yesterday, and he was perfect. A little bit too recruity. He wants me to join a big brokerage that I'm never leaving Deerwood Realty. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. And it was a nice thought, but his point is John, if you were in it's like real estate's tough on your mind. It's a mind game, and it's really hard. And I mean, if you go work with like-minded people, it makes things much, much better. And while I agree in some ways that would be better, you're not getting me to leave my business ever. Not going to happen. I'm not going. And so, I told him, I said, I use people like you all the time because I want some help in my mindset, but I'm not interested in a big brokerage. And the thing is if that's, if I can't be with other agents like that, then so be it. So be it. So anyway, that was fun. That was good. We talked about a lot of things. I don't think there's anything that I wanted to bring to light other than, he's lived the life. He's 70 years old, and he's been in real estate since at least the 80s and the early 80s. I don't think he had his license in the late 70s. So he's been doing this for a long time, and he's had a lot of success. And the way he's had success is the way I would prefer to have success, and that's he just did a good job for his clients. And people called him and they remembered him. That's it. Like he told me yesterday, he's like, I spend $0 on lead generation anymore. It's like, what's the point? And I kind of feel the same way. If in my small brokerage, I need to spend so much money on lead generation, it's ridiculous if I want to do it effectively, because it's not just getting a name and a phone number. Okay. You have to be able to nurture those leads in the sense that you have to be able to talk to these people over months or over years before they actually decide to pull the trigger on whatever they're going to do. I don't have that luxury. I don't have that ability. And so even if I were paying for leads, they'd be falling through the cracks left and right. So that's disappointing. Let me get a drink. But through him, I see hope. I never wanted to retire. I never wanted to be forced into retirement. I never wanted to take a terrible job because, that's the way it was. And if I do things right, I'm never going to have to. I can always have Deerwood Realty, and I can always do that. I can always help people buy and sell homes. Would I like to grow? Yes, in some ways I would. And let me move my chair over. it's hard to run everything all the time. It's very tough. Every day it's just you just get after it, and instead of planning vacations, instead of planning time off, usually what happens is I get sick, and therefore I'm done for a day or two, or I get despondent for a day or two, and I just shut it down. That's probably not the most healthy way to live, but it's kind of the way. That's the only thing I know. So I don't know. It was good to see my friend. He's had significant amount of success in the past like week and a half. I talked to him to schedule our lunch, and he had not been doing well. And then all of a sudden, he picked up 3 listings, and so he's good to go. Now, picking up listings in this market, that's one thing we talked about is, you know, I'm very buyer heavy right now, very buyer heavy. I need listings, and I don't have any. I got all kinds of buyers. So, and it's hard to be a buyer. Now, on Twitter yesterday, you let me know if I did the wrong thing. I don't think so. I have the Deerwood Realty Twitter, and it's at Deerwood Realty if you're interested. And a woman had written that she had put an offer in her house and offered $35,000 over asking, and the winning bidder, she feels like, waived the inspections. Now, I wouldn't tell anybody what the winning bidder did or didn't do in case the house fell through, but she did, and I wrote a little reply, and I said, "Look, you know, get after it. Pick yourself up. I know it's disappointing. Get after it. Go and find that house that's for you. I know there's one out there." Now, she has an agent. Okay, I'm not getting that deal, and I wasn't trying to horn in on these people. What I was trying to say is, like, look, I understand it's very tough. It's very tough for my buyers right now. It's very tough for me. Here's why. One house will come to the market at asking, and it'll sell at asking, which is weird. And we'll get into that in a minute. But then another house will sell for $40,000 over, and I have a lot of clients that can't really, like, they have a budget, and their mortgages they have to appraise. They're not all cash deals. So that's tough. That's super tough. And so, anyway, that's what I'm running into in my business. And I explained that. My Yoda was totally good with that and totally understood where I was coming from. I don't know. For some reason, it's not a competitive thing, but I mean, my Yoda is the guy. I mean, he's kind of put me on the path of the real estate game in the first place. And I really, really want to have success before he checks out. And by checks out, I mean, you know, stops being real estate. He's 70 years old. And my success has been spotty. I had a really, really good year in 2021, followed by in 2020, followed by the worst year of my career in 2021. And I'm not exactly sure what happened, but I have an idea. What happened. But anyway, that was that. Now let me get back to the email and the hoarding situation. So then I also hoard news articles because of my fear that I'll always run out of news. Like, we'll have nothing to talk about. My fear is that I'll get on the live stream and I'll have nothing to talk about. That scares the death out of me. It's a fear, but it's unrealized. And here's why I feel that way. First off, you know, I have trouble starting the show, but once I start the show, things go really, really well. I could probably talk for 6 hours and it wouldn't be a problem. But just getting to that point I usually need some sort of topic that gets me going, that I have some interest in. Today it was the email inbox situation. I see, and then when I do that, it breaks my when I check my I hate when that happens. Okay. Anyway, what was I going? Okay. Well, I told you I have to turn the phones upside down. Now you might say, John, what are you going to do when there's all these people in the chat? Well, there's no one in the chat. So I don't have to do anything right now. Cross that bridge when we come to it. But anyway, the fear is that I'm going to run out of information to talk about. And so I keep all these emails. Anything newsworthy, I'll keep, and I'll actually actively look for it. Now, I may not even open it. I might just leave the headline right there. It's actually a twofold concern. One, I do have a fear, and it is a reasonable one to me, that my podcast I won't have something to talk about. I won't have a subject to really dive into and discuss on a podcast. That bothers me. And then on the live stream, it bothers me, like the idea that I'd be live and not be able to talk about anything, or not have anything to talk about. It scares me. It scares me. So anyway, I keep all this information. Now, what's fascinating to me, don't laugh at me. It's March of 2022. My news archive right now, I'm running about September of 2021. That's how much data I have stored and ready to go for a 1 hour live stream or a podcast. Now, there's days where I'll go through looking for subjects to talk about on a podcast, and I will look through maybe a day's worth or 2 days of data. But we're running into March of 2022, and I'm pulling data from September 2021. Now, the problem with that is some of it gets dated, but I'd rather have some information than none. For instance, if I see an article that says like the housing market's super hot, it appears to be slowing down, and now that article was written in September of 2021, and I'm sitting here now in March of 2022, and it's just like it never did slow down. It never did. So I don't know what we're talking about here. So anyway, the hoarding of the email is bad, and I don't feel good about it, and I'm sorry. I feel shame, but that's what I wanted to go over. Now, finally, this is a sad subject. You guys remember when I saw on Facebook in early January that my two friends, I had helped them sell their home and I helped them buy a new home, they were getting a divorce. And I told you I was very, very upset about it. And I still am. And I also sent, I sent emails and texts and calls to both. Never heard back. Did it a couple times, once a month. Well, yesterday I was looking through the listings for some other things that I do, and the house that they bought is currently being listed by someone else. Did that hurt? Yes. Yes, it did. Did they intentionally go to hurt me? Probably not. Probably not. They're not in the business, and so they don't know. They don't understand. One listing is, probably a month's worth of expenses for me. So I need 12 listings a year minimum to make things compelling. And that's one that I'm not going to get. That's one where I had worked really hard with them to find a nice house. They're listing it for many thousands of dollars over what they purchased it for. And they did nothing to the house but paint it and change the flooring. They didn't even change the kitchen. It was a great house. It was great for them. And I don't know why they didn't use me. And I don't know why they didn't talk to me. And I say I reached out to them individually, and I wasn't interested in he said, she said situation unless they wanted to be that way. But I wasn't interested in going to the other party and saying, hey, this is what so-and-so said. No, I was interested in their well-being. Like I wanted them to know that I was there for each of them, because I was. I feel terrible. And that's one of the problems that I have with my business is you meet people and you like them and you enjoy enjoy helping them find a home or enjoy helping them sell. And then afterwards, because of the way my job works, I have to go. I have to go help others. And when people say, hey, can you meet me on a Friday night? Let's go to the bar or something. No, I can't. I'm normally working. Normally showing houses Friday night. Well, let's go hang out Saturday. We'll spend the day and we'll go somewhere. No, I won't. Let's go Sunday. I got to keep my schedule open. And it's not that I don't want to hang out with people. It's just that This job requires me to work nights and weekends. That's part of the deal. It's not fun. I'd love to schedule things with people every night. But I just don't have the ability to do that. So, and then some buyers and sellers don't like, they look at you as a means to an end, a commodity, and they don't particularly like you or want to have anything to do with you after they buy or sell their house. I understand it. But this one hurt. And I'm not ashamed to tell people that at this point. They're hurting me. My former buyers and sellers are hurting me when they do these things. And they're hurting me in this sense. I have only so much empathy in my heart, and I'm giving it to all these people. And I'm not getting anything in return. And not that you should do something to get a return, but why am I wasting my mental space? Why am I, wasting my mental health for you? And then you can't, then we can't even, look, if you knew you weren't going to give me the listing, you could have just told me up front, I'm not getting the listing. That wouldn't have hurt because I wasn't looking for the listing. I was looking to try and be human and empathetic with you. That's what I was looking for first. I thought about it. I don't know that it would have been a good idea for me to work together on the listing anyway, because of the awkwardness of the divorce. Okay. I get that, but that wasn't why I was calling, and it wasn't why I feel the way I do today. I feel terrible that the house is listed for sale with someone else. I feel terrible that these people got divorced. I feel terrible that they don't even feel, we were friends, I thought, and we'd gone out on some social occasions when I could. I'm terribly upset that we don't have as good enough of friendship that we could hang out and work this out and talk about it. Like, you don't feel comfortable enough around me to talk about, the uncomfortable situation of perhaps, I'm not getting the listing, or that right now it's what it comes out to is you're not even worth us responding to you. That's the way it feels. And so, what would make it better? I've spent a lot of time, in thought. Well, nothing's going to make this better. Nothing's going to make it. You say, well, go list 14 other houses and you'll be fine. Yeah, maybe, but I can't get over this situation, and that I cared about these people. I really did. So this was really, really hurtful. And I had this happen to me a while back. There was this man that was, he came to my wedding, and nice guy, and he was out of work, and I felt bad for him then, and I was like, maybe I can help if there's any, if I know anybody that's looking for somebody, I'll be happy to mention this guy's name. And with them, I was telling them about listings in the neighborhood and showing them stuff that I knew, and then they just went and listed with somebody else, and I felt terrible. I felt terrible because clearly we weren't on the same page. At least tell me that I'm not getting the listing. I'm not around to get the listing. I like generally felt empathy for these people, and then to do this, it hurts. So, I'm telling you, as a real estate agent, that we do have feelings, and some of us do, and that when you have feelings and then these people just crush them, it hurts, and it makes you question things. Now, yesterday it didn't slow me down. I think because you can't, how do I put this? You can't let things hurt you. If like you're already in a bad spot, okay, and then you're going to let something like that take away the rest of your day or the rest of your productivity for what? Do you know what I'm saying? It's okay to feel bad every once in a while. It's okay to have a pity party, I think, but get it all out that day and then move on. Yesterday, I didn't have time for a pity party. I don't have time for a pity party now. I'm sorry that it happened. I don't know. So that's what I'm going to go with on that. Got one article today. I think that's it. Let me check and see if there's anything else. Oh, yeah. Let's actually talk about that. Okay. When I talk about certain things in the real estate world, okay, I can't be too specific because I just don't want to I don't want to call anyone out. I don't want to harm anyone. That's not my goal. My goal isn't just to flame people left and right. But something's happening in our market that's irritating to me. And it's not professional, and to me it's not right. And I'll tell you what it is. In this market where things are so crazy for buyers, listing agents are taking advantage of their sellers in some situations. And I want to go over the thought with you. And if you are working with a listing agent and you see this move, please understand what happened. Now, you've already listed the house. It's not like you can get out of your listing agreement easily. I'm not recommending that. I'm just trying to point out something so that you know what happened and that you understand there are infinite ways that you can not do well by your listing agent. And so here we go. A number of times in this market, you'll have the house goes active, say on a Friday or a Thursday, offers due by Sunday night, response on Monday. I normally run mine to Monday because I don't like the idea of not letting people see houses. As I explained yesterday in my showing report, we had a house that the buyers actually liked, but they made the deadline 3:00 on a Sunday. I mean, come on. I mean, I couldn't get an offer in time. So let's explain what happened. So what's happening with some, what I would say, unscrupulous listing agents in my market? They'll get an offer Friday night, or they'll get an offer Saturday morning, and they'll take the offer and they'll shut down the listing. And the offer isn't above asking. It isn't anything other than asking a traditional sale. And you say, well, John, what do you care? The person got their money and everything's good. Well, here's what I care. Listing agents being very, very lazy. They don't want to be bothered on the weekend. They don't want to have to look through 15 contracts. So they're just taking the first offer that comes in. They're instructing their sellers, this is the exact asking price, take it. And they're not leaving it open long enough for people to go actually put in a multiple offer situation, which would raise the price of the sale for their sellers, and thereby put more money in the sellers' pockets. That's bad. That's bad. You're not doing your seller client any good by not taking the time to let people walk through the house and put in an offer and not get to a multiple offer situation. That's on you. You're being lazy. You should be ashamed of yourself. That's not professional. And you say, well, John, prove that happens. Well, I told you last month. Went to a house. Buyers thought they liked it. Seller's agent told me that they're gonna take offers up until 2 o'clock on a Saturday, and then they're done. They've already got offers, and the house was supposed to be available till Monday. We don't even have the chance to put an offer. Same thing happened yesterday. Now, the one yesterday, the agent owned the house, so they can do what they want, in my opinion. Okay, if an agent owns a house, okay, and they're selling it, that's not instructing the seller to take an offer that would be less than they could possibly get. You feel that that's the best thing for you, you do it. Clear conscience, have no issue with that. What I'm talking about is the absolute laziness of listing agents to keep an offer or keep a property open until enough people have gotten a chance to see it. You're being lazy. And now I'll throw forth another one. I know the agent on this one, and this is how stupid the market is. And she's stupid. That's why we never work together. Because she's dumber than a box of rocks. This woman is an idiot. It's the best thing I can say about her. She doesn't list houses very often, but she's decided to list a home. Okay, she put it active in the MLS yesterday. The first showing is at the open house on Sunday at 1. Offers are due by 5 o'clock on Sunday night with a response time of Monday. What the hell's wrong with you? What the hell? I mean, that is the stupidest thing. Who are you benefiting on that one? And I know that it's an out-of-town seller, so they're not being benefited at all. I'd like to see any listing agent go and explain that to their sellers, how that's a good idea. Hey, we're going to restrict the availability of anybody to see this house until the open house. And then we're going to literally have the house open for 5 hours. Okay. And then we're going to take whatever offer we get. Now understand that this particular house is vacant. It doesn't matter if, it's not like the family's being inconvenienced by having an open house. It's not like the family's being inconvenienced by having people come through their house. There's no one there. It's stupid. It's stupid, and I can't stand it. And I would tell her that she's stupid to her face, but what good would that do me? Like, that's the weird thing about this real estate game is in the first case where listing agents are being lazy, okay, they got the listing. They've already been rewarded. Me calling it out, there's no reward for me. None. In fact, you might be listening to this and say, I don't like you as an agent. I'd prefer to use the person that just listed it and cut the listing short. It sounds like a great plan. On this other one, the listing agent has already been rewarded because they get the listing, even though it's a stupid listing strategy. The time to find the right agent is before you list the property. The time to find the right buyer's agent is before you sign an offer with someone. And now, on a buyer's agent, what are you looking for? Someone that can take you to the homes in a timely manner, and someone that has some sense of the real estate market, to where, if you really want a house, they can help. It's just bizarre. That's what I mean, that's kind of what always surprised me about, this business versus others. I watch politicians specifically fail upwards. Okay. When they make a mistake, they fail upwards. What do I mean by that? They face no consequences for any of their decisions. None. You say, well, they lose at the ballot box. Well, then they go become a lobbyist. They don't lose. And they also advocate far positions most of the time that are outside of the norms on both sides. And they get rewarded for it. In this business, it's not just accountability. You're punished daily. Like, I didn't get the listing that I worked with those previous buyers and sellers for 2 years for them to find a house that they finally got, that they loved. And my thanks for that was my commission check. It was not a referral, and it was not another shot at a listing. You know, you're literally punished. These people that are, these listing agents that are cutting listings short because they're, you know, they want to go to a cocktail party at night and they don't want to work, they're getting rewarded. I don't get rewarded for calling it out. I don't get rewarded for calling an agent absolutely stupid for their listing strategy. So I don't fall up. In fact, I fall down. My wallet gets thinner. When I do something, or when something happens to me, I don't benefit from it. It goes worse. So anyway, that's a frustrating thing about being in business for yourself. It's a frustrating thing about being in business where you have to have profits to grow, and you can't just depend on some weird, you know, social hierarchy, and that someone, you know, some Wall Street fat cat goes ahead and finances you 100%. Or you've, you know, born into some situation that I wasn't. So very, very frustrating to see these lazy agents be rewarded for their efforts. Now, moving on, we have a Google Trends article. I don't know how to do this, but we're going to try. Okay, we're going to try. Let me put it here, and let's go here. Can you see it? It says millions of palm-sized flying spiders to swarm the East Coast. What is this about? 50,000 searches on Google. It says, if you live in New York City, you won't need to be a certain red-suited Marvel superhero. That seems to be a reference to Spider-Man. For your spider sense to commence tingling. Millions of palm-sized flying spiders, a species known as Jaro Spiders, could take over the East Coast, a new study shows. Last September, the 3-inch yellow-striped arachnids swarmed Georgia in millions, suggesting the same could happen elsewhere. People should try to learn to live with them, lead author Andy Davis, a research scientist at the University of Georgia, said in a statement. If they're literally in your way, I can see taking a web down and moving them to the side, but they're just going to be back next year. Ugh. The spiders' hatchlings disperse via web parachutes that can fly up to 100 miles, riding strands of silk along spring winds. It's commonly found in Korea, Japan, China, and Taiwan, and known as orb weavers, because their webs are highly symmetrical and circular in its name. Circular. Its name Jaro comes from the Japanese spirit Yorogamu, which disguises itself as a beautiful woman to prey on men. Well, how's that any different than... Anyway. The Jaro spider stuck inside a shipping container back in 2014, invading the United States, and the population has only grown. Last year, horrified Georgians saw the arachnids' webs, which were as deep as 10 feet, drape power lines, overtake porches, and veil mailboxes. Researchers suggest that the Jaro spiders won't stick to traditional means of flying along with the breeze to colonize their new home. Instead, they might opt to be stowaways. It says, the potential for these spiders to be spread throughout people's movements is very high. Anecdotally, right before we published this study, we got a report from a grad student at the University of Georgia who had accidentally transported one of these to Oklahoma. Well, great. While its bright yellow color and red underbelly markings are stunning to the eye, the Jaro spider seems menacing both in web size and lore, but it's deceiving. The arachnid is not strong enough to bite through the skin of humans, cats, or dogs, posing no threat unless they're allergic. I don't want a palm-sized spider. I don't. Not flying around. It might be the silver lining in the terrifying news, since the spiders are poised to spread across the country. Research compared the Jaro spider to its close cousin, the gold silk spider, which migrated from tropical climates to the southern states 160 years ago to predict the future for Jaro spiders. But this Jaro spider is more resilient with the ability to withstand cold temperatures, double the metabolic rate, and 77% higher heart rate. Just by looking at that, it looks like the Jaros could probably survive throughout most of the eastern seaboard here, which is pretty sobering. While it sounds terrifying, Jaro spiders' arrival could be beneficial to the Georgian ecosystem, where they could kill off mosquitoes, flies, and other invasive species instead of destabilizing their new ecosystem. The biggest threat it poses then is to be a nuisance. There's really no reason to go around actively squishing them. Humans are at the root of their invasion. Don't blame the Jaro spider. Look at the size of that thing. And they're going to be everywhere now. Now, I don't like mosquitoes. If they can kill off mosquitoes, I'm kind of okay with that. I really hate mosquitoes. I also don't like what we would call chiggers. I'm allergic to those. Anyway, not real excited about Jaro spiders, to be honest with you. I don't really want them to be attacking where I live. But you know those stink bugs that we have now? Those didn't exist. Now they're all over the place. So, whatever. Moving on, let's look at homes in Lubbock, Texas. Now, unfortunately, I made an error, and I had looked up Lubbock, Texas, and I put it on a map. Oh, it's still here. All right, let me check my screen just to make sure we're good. Is there anybody in chat? No. Okay. Here we go. Here is Lubbock, Texas. Can you see it? Let me look on the screen here. I need 2 monitors, but I don't know if I could work 2 monitors. But anyway, here's Lubbock, Texas. Okay? Right there. And that is way on the west side of Texas, in my opinion. Right there. So, you know, I didn't have any idea where it was. And it says even here, it's the 11th most populous city in the U.S. state of Texas. Population of 257,141. It says Lubbock's nickname, Hub City, derives from it being the economic, educational, and healthcare hub of the multi-county region north of the Permian Basin and south of the Texas Panhandle, commonly called the South Plains. So, anyway, that's where it was. Now, Oklahoma is right along here. Okay. Anyway, that's Lubbock, Texas. So, let's look at some homes. Here we go. This is the first one. $2.8 million, 7 bedrooms, 8.5 baths, 13,000 square feet on a 1.7 acre lot. Oh, man. This isn't the way I wanted. What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong, peeps? I just want to see if did we change up the listing? I don't like this the way it's set up at all. Let me refresh it. Well, for some reason we've changed up the listing and I don't like it. Okay. $2.8 million, 7 beds, 8.5 baths, 13,480 square feet. I mean, why would you do it this way? Oh, this is terrible. Did we change it? Is it just Texas, or are we going to have to deal with this for everything? All right, well, anyway, so we'll try. So here's the front. Looks good. There's the entranceway. Why would anyone like this? This is terrible. Ugh. All right, well, we're going through it. So here's, I mean, it's a little dated. Kitchen's a little dated. When was this built? 2000? Yeah. I hate this thing right here. I don't know if you can see it in your picture. No, you can't. Let me move up a little bit. This thing here, can't stand it. It's one of those lights. It's terrible. How does anybody think this is better? I hate this. I might not even look at any more houses because of this. I mean, what in the world? I quit. We're not doing Lubbock, Texas today. Are we doing that with everywhere? Let's look and see in St. Louis. I might go to Zillow if this stays up, and I hate Zillow. There, that's the way it should look. Heavily staged. I know who listed just based on their staging. There's these two companies in St. Louis that when they stage stuff, they do a great job. They do a great job. And people buy the houses because of the way it's staged. And they're terrible houses, but nobody cares because they're cute looking. So anyway, I'm not looking anymore at Lubbock, Texas. We looked a little bit and it wasn't enjoyable. Let me get to an article and then we'll move on. It says Housing Perspectives. This is from the Joint Center for Housing Studies of Harvard University. Okay. It says rents have soared across the country, but home prices grew even faster. It says rents across the U.S. rose at an unprecedented pace in the second half of 2021, according to our new America's Rental Housing Report. As rental markets tightened and demand soared, typical asking rents rose an astounding 11% year over year in September 2021, up from 1.2% a year earlier. Despite the unprecedented growth in rents, home prices rose even faster. Typical home values rose 18.9% in September, up from 5.7% the year before. Since the start of the pandemic, home price growth has outpaced, oftentimes doubling rent growth, pushing the price to rent ratio, which is a typical home value divided by typical annual rent, to 14 in 2021, up from 13 in 2020 and just 11.6% in 2015. Says the above interactive chart released in conjunction with the report shows the year-over-year change in the rents and the home prices in the U.S. overall and by metro area. The rapid ascent in rents has been widespread in markets across the country. Indeed, rents rose annually in all 100 large markets tracked by Zillow in September of last year, including at least by 10% in nearly two-thirds of the markets. Despite that rent growth, home values increased faster in all but one market, as home prices rose by at least double digits in 99 markets, outpacing rent growth by 7.9 percentage points on average. The nation's hottest rental markets were located in the South and the West, in metros where demand was strong prior to the pandemic. Rent growth was fastest in two Florida markets, Sarasota and Tampa, which is what we've seen. A lot of discussion about Sarasota, followed by Phoenix and Las Vegas, but home prices in these markets rose at even more rapid clip, rising between 24% and 24% in Vegas and 32% in Phoenix. Rents grew faster than home prices in just one market, though by a small margin. In Miami, rents rose 19.7%, slightly more than the 18.2% increase in home values. So what is this about? And I'm getting kind of tired today about this. I'm going to go here. You're going to go here. So what is this about? Well, I think that a lot of people thought that if you rent a house, and I've heard this before, you should always rent because it's a more accurate picture of the market and you can usually do better than buying because it's cheaper. And the idea is that you're not, the counter argument to that is that you're not putting equity into your home. Your home is like a savings bank. Now, should it be? Probably not. Probably not, but it's like a forced savings. So like anybody that has to pay a mortgage is forcing themselves to save in a weird way. With renting, you don't have that. The argument's always been, you can take the difference between the rent price and the home mortgage, okay? and you can invest that money elsewhere. But the problem with that is normally, as long as I've known, is that a rent price is usually higher than a home price for the same property. So you're paying more and getting no equity. Makes no sense. Now, this is traditional economics, and let's be honest, the world has really shown us this week that we're not tethered to the traditional economic profile of America anymore. What I mean by that is, we are actively not looking to have cheaper oil and gas. We're actually looking to make it more expensive. We're actively preventing the Russian people from getting Facebook and Twitter and all these things. We're just turning it off. We're not even, we're just trying to really decouple from Russia ever, and we're trying to put Russia in the hands of the Chinese, which seems like a bad strategy. But you know what? I'm not in charge, and even if I were, I don't know that I would be able to fix things, because this is being done by many people, not just the president, not just the Congress. This is career politicians really mucking things up. So the problem here is that the rents, like, for some reason, people thought that when the house prices increased, that mortgages would stay the same, or the rent prices would stay the same. That's not going to happen. If someone feels they can get more money for something, they're going to charge more. If they had to pay more for a product, okay, then they're going to charge more because they need the difference in rent. In fact, let's just go over it. I have a nice friend of mine that has a home that he rents out, and he will raise the new people are leaving, I believe, in December. The current rent tenants, and he will raise rents significantly, maybe as much as $100 or more a month. Why? Because he can get away with it. What would be another reason? If he were to have bought the house now, he would have had to raise the rents just so that he could cover the mortgage payment. Renters are not immune to these issues. I think that's a fallacy. I think that's, people believe that, and they shouldn't. It's weird. With that, I'm going to head out. I got a bunch to do today. I'm excited about it. I hope that you all have a good day. I hope things go well for you. And I will catch you tomorrow at 9 o'clock. I really got to run tomorrow because I have to go to a lunch in a different part of town. It's going to take me a while to get up there. I might even actually have to get dressed before my live stream. I'm dressed, but I mean, ready to go. So anyway, thank you for watching. I will see you tomorrow.